All right, Miss Angie, this whole thing was supposed to be about you telling us about what's going on with
But
you.
After hearing
And
all this, man.
I know. I knew you were going to do this. I knew we were going to do this. But tell us about last Tuesday. What happened? What you're currently...
Well, actually, the first one was like November the 5th was the first text message that out of the blue, we were working, and I got a text message from the landlord. Now, I need to state this. We didn't renew our lease in June because even last year, for the longest time, we've said we would buy the building because it was stated he knows 2 of the suites we built from the ground up, stepped off. That's when I learned my construction is 4 years later, or 4 centers later, that we stepped off the plumbing. We've done excavators from gravel to concrete on up, walls, everything. And, with what we've paid, which is a good, it's cheap considering, I guess. I don't know, being that we've completed 2 suites, but we pay $1,500 a month. And we're blessed. And we've been here 13 years. But with him taking that into consideration, pulling the tax card, that it said it was, I think it's $529 or $79,000 is what the tax card is. So I was thinking, well, with that and taking into consideration, we could possibly afford this, do a couple of fundraisers, finance the rest. We could pay this.
So November 5th, he texted you and said, hey,
I've decided to sell both buildings.
Okay.
Both buildings means the daycare next door that has a 19-year lease connected to it with the Head Start federal government. And it was built after we were here. It's a much higher detailed building than ours because it's got fire, all the sprinklers and all that. And the fancy playground because we let them lease from us the land for the playground off of our lease, piggybacked off of us because they needed it to have the daycare. And it's a free daycare, and I'm thankful it's there.
Yes, our clients.
Yeah, our clients go there. Yeah. So I love that daycare. But it doesn't really bring much in now that, he's got the initial payment and the building's there. It's kind of, they're there for 19 more years, looking at it from a landlord's perspective. But he said it'd be $1.4 million. And that I had 1 week to decide.
Well, wasn't it 1.6 with the daycare?
No, it's 1.4 with the daycare in 1 week. But after 1 week, he would get the realtor involved, and it would most likely go to $1.6 million. And I said, but I don't want all these other buildings. What about just the building we're in? And he said it would just be $1.2 million. And I said, so the daycare is only worth $200,000? And he goes, well, yeah, it's really an investment. And I'm trying to help you with investment. It's like, but we're not an investor. Yeah. We're a nonprofit. We're not supposed to invest and hang on to money. In a lot of nonprofits over the years, trust me, I see a lot of budgets. And even as a commissioner, the every county gives some, like most counties, I guess, give to nonprofits, which I've never asked, even before I was a commissioner, this. But we look at budgets, and most have like the savings funds or building funds and all these funds, but we never have. We have about 2 months worth of money, and that's when we were lucky. Used to it was week to week and month to month. Yeah. At least it was like 2 months.
It's like how
maybe
pay
3 months. And of course, I just told you our rent's like $1,500, so we're not talking about a whole lot of money.
Right.
And two employees, and we don't have insurance, we don't have retirement. It's important to us that people know we're in it for the people.
Yes.
And this ministry is too, that we're very transparent in what our funds are and what we spend.
And anybody that comes to volunteer, they can see that.
Oh, it's easy.
Really quickly.
It was really quick for me to see that, like, you're going to put the
and that's
money
what
where
keeps everybody coming back,
Well, and it's why I tell everybody, if you want to donate to our community, this is where you need to donate.
I appreciate you.
Because nothing stays here.
Yeah.
It comes in pretty fast, but it goes out even faster.
I said, I know this is big, but I feel like there's something else going to happen. Didn't I say that?
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know what it was. I thought, was it the election coming up? What is it going to happen? Right. I had no idea that I was going to be given a text message, not a conversation either, in the middle of helping people.
It's the devil, though. He wants to keep
you
while you're down.
So then this past Tuesday, we're giving out turkeys. I mean, I feel like this is a Hallmark gone bad movie.
I
You
know.
know?
It really is like
Yeah.
It
and
is.
both
We get
both
It's like the
times that
Christmas
the
show.
message came through is when something really good was going on here.
Great Morning Tuesday. I said, there's going to be so many cars because if we park over here, we don't want to block him because the landlord's on the other side. And we've never argued and had the harsh words in
No.
13 years. So I was out there talking to Betty, and I just took some of the funniest pictures of some of our volunteers. Pearl and Sandra had the hood over. About that time, I heard my phone go off, and I looked down and I read it. And I ain't gonna lie, guys, I hope I forget how I felt at that moment, but
Yeah.
it was exactly how I feel. I've never been in a fight in my life, but I felt like I have been like, really hit in the gut, and I couldn't hit, like the person back, like or grab hold or something,
Mhm.
I just couldn't even put it into words what I was reading. And then I'm looking, and here's all these clients and people's kids.
Well, it's just
all
scary
around
because
me.
you're like, oh no, like how are we going to help
How am I
all these
gonna
people
save
that need
them?
us?
If I have nowhere to be.
Well, that's what because I was cooking dinner and you went live. And I was watching it and I was crying. And I was like,
Oh, me too.
are you kidding me? It felt just like how this has like been the lifeline of our county. How are you going to take that?
I'm telling you, we're ready. I mean, it don't matter building or not. We got plenty
Yeah.
of buses out
That's why I said on that
I
video,
mean,
and I
we're-
mean that. But immediately right then, it wasn't like I even thought of that. I was just like, Lord, I'm just gonna be real. I was like, I'm tired. I mean, it's okay to admit it. I was like, I'm tired. We're trying to do everything possible. Just help me. Help me know how I can even help them, because I have to have a place for supplies. The old saying, you have to put on your own oxygen mask
Yep.
before you can help someone else. How are we supposed to help somebody else? And then I just said, well, I just went away crying. I didn't say a word to anybody. I went to the very back of that parking lot where the camper was, and I was crying. And then Desi Gentry had drove in the food, and I hollered. I barely got her name out because I was crying. I couldn't really talk. And I finally got it out. I just handed her my phone. I couldn't even say it because I'm just like bawling. Like, she's like, I just knew somebody had died. And I said, well, I kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
Because I think my heart was more broken at the fact that I remember seeing the landlord sit across the street, staring over there in his truck. And then the text came through of knowing
He's seen what we were doing.
that we've talked all of these years, that he couldn't, and I told him after the November the 5th text, I had him read his own text 2 days later. He said, there's something wrong. And I said, are you mad at me? And I was like, did you read the text you had sent me? After I got my breath and she's seen, she's like, it's going to be okay. And I said, I've got to get in my car for a minute. I've just got to go. And that's what I did the first time. I went and sat in my car. That's where at first I was really confused about November the 5th when that happened, because I thought, Lord, last time that we walked around all of this, they prayed, we were claiming, you ask for it and God will give it to you. And this is where I thought it would be, and this don't make sense. And you ask God all these questions. And then when this happened Tuesday, in between that time, I had started to feel like it's me that wanted the building.
Yep.
It's not where God wanted us to be.
Yeah.
And that if God hadn't done it in a way that totally shut the door, I wasn't going to listen to him.
Mm-mm.
That's really the truth of it. And that's when driving to school in my pajamas, my coffee. I just feel really bad that during this hard time that we have to focus on anything that the center needs, when our center wants to focus on what people need. But God chooses a time and the
He
place
is
for
a
all
way
things.
maker, and he will make a way.
So we found the place, and that is half a mile up the road, and it's a junkyard. So I went up there to talk to the people, the men that own it, to kind of get down to business of what their final number is and what's included, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, by the way, I know you didn't want us to leave anything here except maybe the forklift. And I was like, yeah, the forklift. We need one. It's older, but it runs. It's all matters. And I was like, that'd be perfect. And he goes, but I got to thinking, there is a 40 by 50 She needs you. A 40 by 50 building laying out back that was brand new that we never erected out there that we could, if it was put up, 40 by 50 is 2,000 square feet. There's the building that I said we would have to build. It's already there. We just got to have trusses and
Wow.
metal roof for it.
Yeah.
But so then somebody else told me, oh, there's a company that I know of that put that metal, it was Curtis, I think, that said, there's a company that I know of that would put that metal building up for us. So it's God's Acres is what I feel that God just kept showing me. And then our little lane is Beautifully Broken Lane. And what better thing to say, you can take a junkyard. That was everything that was broken. It didn't work. It really been put to the side to just pick apart,
Yeah.
which is how we all feel at times in life. That with a lot of work and everyone coming together and what God provides, it can be restored to something very beautiful that helps people. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's almost 7 acres.
This one.
And so then it comes down to the part that I dread asking for.
I was going to
and
say.
that is,
Yep.
we've got to get some funding for it though.
Yeah.
Right now we've got to make sure our people's okay. So I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there that's like, wants to do something, but isn't the kind, oh, my name better be going on the sign. I don't care. I'll put up an in honor of sign
Mm-hmm.
of a family member there.
Mm-hmm.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Not to take away from God's acres
Right.
as far as that God provides it. But if somebody out there wants to do something in honor of a family, what better
Yeah.
thing? I
And
mean,
it
our
could be
place,
multiple things because we have
Yeah.
so many different services like through the center. So like
Yeah.
the playground could be in honor of somebody. The
yeah,
grocery store, I mean, we can put it in honor of someone. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of options.
That would be a beautiful.
I mean,
way to
because we're all
honor.
about
and maybe you
life.
have multiple
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But we have adoptions that come through the center. We've had
Yeah.
49 private free adoptions just in the last, I think she's 14 years, and that are free. What better thing for someone to support than life? Not only adoptions, but helping people, and it's not what we do; it's what God has allowed us to do. But the thing is, I know that a lot of people say the ministry touches their heart, and I love seeing the stories and the comments. But this is a time that I need people to show, to really step up and say,
Yeah.
it means so much that if I don't have it to give, then I'm going to go out and tell people they need to give
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we've got to have a place to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I feel like this is a way that like our community will be blessed by this for years and years and years and years to come. I feel like our community will be blessed by this immediately.
Yeah.
There's no doubt on that. But like, I am excited to see how it will bless lives for years.
Yeah.